Testing. Testy. Hello. Just gotta make sure. Okay. I've sent the word. I don't entirely know how edited the beginning and the end of this is going to be. I also don't know when I should start talking. I'll give it 5 minutes. I'll give it 5 minutes. Humans. What I'm also going to test is how bad this is going to lag. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you. I'm just opening up Man, this is really tight. I'm just opening up Minecraft real quick because I probably. Hello. I feel like we've met before. That name looked really familiar. I'm just trying to see real quick if, or at least how badly this is either going to lag or how badly Minecraft is going to lag. But I remember that name. I remember that name from somewhere. And I hope you like the follow notification if you saw it. And if not, I'm quite proud of this. I'm going to replay it. Here you go. That is a. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. A lot of it. Especially online, specifically. Bedrock. Alright, that is looking okay. Now I'm gonna do that. Okay. I'm back. The chat box should still be there. Do it work. Alright, thanks for having to say that. Okay. Make sure it's capturing what I want to capture. That doesn't look like it. I should have been more prepared. Is it doing the thing? Does it work? Did it work? It's showing nothing. What? Oh, cause that's why. Okay, that. Okay, wonderful. All right. Let's see. Yep, that's still just a white box. So if I did this, and then I did a little bit, no, that didn't do anything either. Okay, so maybe showing you what I've been up to in my free time is not going to be. You're running. But hello, hi, how are you? I'm waiting a few more minutes to really get into what I've been up to since February, the last time I streamed. Ever. You'll love to hear it. Decent. It also. Oh. Why is chat box? Did Oh, it's just really small. I just messed that up. Shit. Alright, maybe there was a reason I had it that big the first time. Alright, that should be a little more readable. I'm sorry, I wish I had tested this out a bit better earlier. Well, we've already reached the 5-minute mark. This needs to work. It's gotta work. It's got to. You know what? I'll go over it real quick. Open the sources. Share spares. The specific capture a game. That might be what I need, but I haven't learned to talk. Aha! There we giggity go. Full screen and application. Specific window. I think that's what I'm looking for. Ha 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 ha! That is what you like to see. But yes, I am getting back to my roots. So where to begin? The very last time I streamed, for editing purposes, I'll just say hello. 4 of Suffering Out Loud with me, your host. Also, at that camera angle, I feel like my eyes look a little, I want to say dead. Unless I really do that, and it's just, anyway, besides the point. Hello, welcome. I'm Sky. And I haven't streamed in 10 months. This past February was the very last time I did this. And I'll be getting slowly more intoxicated as we go, as I talk. So, the very last time I streamed was before ending up in a homeless shelter. And out of any possible homeless shelter, it was a religious homeless shelter. It's like very Christian. And getting used to that was, sorry, I was wiping something on the keyboard. But it was very interesting to get used to. It was going from living with a friend and having like, I would say total privacy, even though at the time I didn't have a lock on my door. Going from that, like living with people that I know, to living with strangers in a close, enclosed environment. Oh. It was definitely very interesting, to say the least. Because the first day I showed up, what they require is that you empty out like any clothing that you have. They take and they wash it just like as a preventative measure in case you did have like some bed bugs or something on you. And of course they give you donated clothing to wear for the night. But there was that, as well as meeting one of the staff members. His name is Alan. And he was pretty nice and like considerate about my beliefs in terms of Christianity, coming from like a Christian cult background. So I relatively knew like their view of God. Not only that, they took my pee. And it's another like they also make sure that you're not intoxicated or that you didn't like come in while high, as another preventative measure of them. Like, their goal is to reintegrate you back into society. That is what they do. That is their purpose. Aside from reintegrate, I'm sorry about the heater if you can hear that. Yeah, that's pretty audible. But aside from like their Christian beliefs, they really are trying to like help everyone in there get back out there, back into the real world. That was not the best way to put it, but that's what they do. It's a really nice cause. And their other thing too that I do find kind of smart is every night or every day you are in a you are assigned a chore. It could be janitorial, or it's either janitorial stuff or kitchen work. And I ended up doing the kitchen work since I was the youngest in there, and the much 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 older guys in there, they got a little bit more. They got the work that was a little easier for them to do. So I got put in the kitchen. So I got to learn a little bit of cooking, even though I've completely forgotten it. But it was really nice to be able to like. I didn't explain it from the start. The point of the chore system is because they also have a kitchen there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to the homeless in the public, or really, actually, really anyone. So it's like they're also, not only are they living in that shelter, but they're also giving back, which I find like that's pretty smart. Like that makes sense, and like a really good cause too. So it was interesting doing kitchen work since I didn't entirely know what to do, and your your shift is 4 hours long. It's an hour. It's about 2 hours of food prep, and then 2 hours of actually serving like the public. After a while, I kind of realized I was more comfortable doing the dishes, because it was really nice being able to like physically give back to the community by doing the dishes. I was a lot more comfortable in that corner, what they called the dish pit, and it made some pretty good memories over there, especially with a guy there. Used to be there. Kelly. It took me a while to open up because, of course, like anywhere I go, I just show up traumatized and just really shy at first. I just no, yeah, I did put it in the server. Um, so it was a little difficult for me to open up, but there were guys around there that were like, "Hey, come with us," and so that's where I started doing the dishes. You got like their commercial dish sink, and then you got the window for when people give back like their plate, and as well as like the silverware. There was a sanitation bucket for that, and then another little bucket in case anyone had like a drink, because they served either like iced tea or water there, and they just dump it out there. Then in the corner, you have the guy who rinses off any residue that's on those dishes. Then you have their dishwasher that more thoroughly cleans it, and a little tray for those dishes to be put up on, dried, and then put back to be used again. It was a really nice little corner. There were normally like 4 to 5 guys over there, sometimes 3, which honestly 3 was enough. But when there was too many of us, and like there was 6 in that small area, it's like there ends up being one of us that doesn't really do much for the shift. But Kelly was a good one. He was an older gentleman, probably about 30 to 40 years older than me, who, funny enough, he was also from Massachusetts too. And we didn't really know that within the first week of getting to know each other. And it was just very interesting how we just clicked. because like I noticed I liked his sense of humor. I thought it was funny. I thought he was a funny guy overall. Excuse me. And just we just really bonded over the course of the month I was there. Which another rule of theirs is you don't just stay there. You actively also have to be looking for a job unless you're really old, and they'll help you out as long as you're working to get out of that homeless shelter. Then you get kicked out if you're not showing any progress. Unfortunately for me, I spent 2 separate months there. The first month it was winter, it being like February, like into March, and it wasn't until close to March that I started actively looking for jobs because I was really depressed. I was going through the breakup, a breakup past, a breakup, a breakup, as well as the post breakup emotions. So I just didn't really have much emotional motivation to really do much. So there was that, and after getting kicked out, you're not allowed to come back for 2 weeks if you still don't land on your feet. And at the time, my recent ex told me that I could stay at his apartment for a while. Basically, for a while. That ended up being an 18-day stay where I got to drink, hang out with my buddies in Discord, and figure out where I'm going. So I tried to apply at a fast food restaurant, and that didn't really work out because I also had recently gotten a new phone, and then even that just turned out to not really be much of use. So it just kind of really seemed like I was really down on my luck. But during that time, I also really learned how to meditate. And oh my gosh. I've heard 2 people in the past talk to me about meditation. One of them, a really chill dude. The other one, I didn't really know him for probably known him for maybe a little less than a year. Oh yeah, I didn't really think much of it. I kind of just never really bothered because the both times I did try, I felt like it did nothing for me. But it was while at my ex's apartment, I genuinely gave it a shot. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do this for any spiritual purposes, but for the mental health purposes, and see where it gets me. And when I finally got it, I felt myself rocking back and forth, kind of like this. And then after that, I was just all the past pain that I've been carrying for years, like the stuff from the cult, how they treated me in there, my relationship with my parents at the time, which has gotten better, thankfully. And also the breakup and what happened after that. It was it's just none of it. I felt none of it anymore. I suddenly realized that I'm carrying all this pain around for nothing. There's no reason for it. I just remember how much peace I felt. Honestly, it's beautiful. It really is. But so that I took that, and I still do meditate when either when I need to stay at peace, let go of something. It's become a really nice practice. Really good for the headpiece. there was that, and I'm not going to bring up the very last night I spent there. But, not going to lie, kind of traumatic. Oh, whoops, my bad. But aside from that, oh, the only little detail I was going to bring up about that was while I was there, because I had my refillable vape. It was like a really small one, and like with pods. One of the pod's atomizers already stopped working, so I only had one pod left. And then while I was there, that one decided to not work anymore. But that the egg is on my face. Because I did not know that you're not supposed to charge your refillable vape with either like the pod or the coil still attached to it. So it stopped working about 3 days before I ended up back in the homeless shelter. So dealing with like going back to the homeless shelter, as well as on a pretty bad nicotine withdrawal, that was not fun. That was not a mental good time. No, no, no. But coming back, I forgot. Before I left, I made a really good friend. He may or may not be a future guest on this podcast. Because I asked him yesterday if it was okay if I can do the podcast while he's working, so I'm not disturbing him. And I also asked if he also wouldn't mind if like mind being guest on here from time to time. So you'll meet him. We met at the homeless shelter, and like I remember the first day he was there, because he came in with another guy named Roger. Now Roger, he there we go. Roger, he was like the funny guy, but to put it in the nicest way possible, picture the movie Shrek Donkey. Now, Eddie Murphy did an amazing job voicing that character, but I now severely understand why Shrek just got so fed up with it. Because like that's what Roger was, literally like a personified version of Donkey. And the other like the unfortunate part was that's how like it's really nice to always want to cheer up other people and like just like keep the mood light, always joking around. But it definitely does hit a point where it's like relax, just calm down. Just take this seriously. And the other thing too, it wasn't just that, but it was also like he also had the tendency to just kind of just dominate just like the room in a way or the conversational flow. It's like if I'm talking right now, say we're having a conversation, the minute he walks in the room, he immediately becomes the center of it. That's like honestly, that's kind of impressive to be honest. Like it takes a certain type of person to be able to just naturally do that. And honestly, like I give him credit for sticking to being able to just keep the mood light as often as he can and as often as he does. Unfortunately, it does come at the cost of annoying people, but as I've learned, like if you don't vibe with someone, just remove yourself from the situation. And so while I was there, after like the first 3 days, when I realized I wouldn't really get a chance to talk when he was around, I kind of just stopped talking altogether. And the mood soured very slowly. But something very interesting happened the second month I was there. Of course, Brian and I, we were super happy to see each other again. Sad to still see him there, but still super happy to see my homie again. We were able to like catch up a bit, and Brian and I did not mean to say his name out loud. For Brian. We became really close, and close to the point where, as guys, it's a known fact that you don't really cry in front of others, and that's something that even though like I'm not afraid to be vulnerable with people, crying in front of someone, that's something that I still struggle to do. It's because like that's the most vulnerable version of a person that you can probably possibly see, them breaking down in tears. And Brian had his moments where he needed somebody to like tell him like it's all right, give him a good hug, like a pat on the back, and I did the same. He did the same for me. After the breakup with Nico, and like even no, he was there after it, not before it. There were moments where like I really missed him, as any ex would freshly out of a relationship. It's normal, and honestly, like I'm glad I had the homie there to help me out. He's a good one. But fast forward to the very last day that I was in the homeless shelter, because I went somewhere I never expected. The second to last day I was there, I'd been getting advice from another guy there who was looking out for me like an older brother, telling me what to do, where to go in terms of employment. Because of course there's the rule after 30 days, if you have shown no signs of progress in getting a job, you're kicked out. And it's at this point where I would have had nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere. And what I find even more annoying is on that day, I think I had come back from like an easily 2 to 3 hour walk, physically walking to places to check in on applications. And one of the staff pulled me into the office and was like, "It's been 30 days, Sky. We haven't seen any progress. So if you don't do anything in like the next 48 hours, 72 hours, we're kicking you out." I'm like, all right, fine. I understand. I know the rules are the rules. And not even an hour after being pulled into the office for that talk, I get called by an employment office that I went to a few days before. They're like, "Hey, we got you a job at Crater Lake." Oh, hello. Wow, I completely forgot about scam bots. Oh, it's so nice to see you again. Let me take care of that real quick. How do I do this? Oh. Whoops. I don't know why AutoMod is off. Hold on. What does that turn shield? I don't think that did anything. Uh-oh. That's okay. No, that's not what I want to do. Slow mode. What's it? All right. I made an oopsie. We're turning that off. God damn it. Gosh, it has been way too long. There we go. All right. I figured it out. But I got called from that employment office, to work at Crater Lake. as a housekeeper. And that's when my life changed in so many ways I never would have saw coming, honestly. That's the people I met, the things I did and saw. I was like, holy shit, that was a close one. I went from being homeless to now having a job at Crater Lake that provides housing and food every day, 3 meals a day. So getting there was interesting. I got a cab that was it was a $5 cab, so it wasn't a far walk, but I did have a very heavy suitcase and a lot of bags to bring with me, as well as a full bag of laundry, or half full. It was a lot, and so you got the cab, got out of the cab. I waited for like probably a solid 20 minutes for the carpool to show up. So it was me and three other guys who got hired on the same day as temp workers to work there, as all four of us were housekeepers. And the two guys sitting in the front were all excited about like the things you can do up there, like just like, oh, excuse me, how, just like hang out up there, gamble if you want, and just like have a. In the words of Mac Miller, have a blast, have a ball, have a motherfucking great time. um, then in the middle seat there was me and David, who we bonded in the 7 days that he was there. As after, because we got to the room, because apparently the two guys were staying in like a different dormitory. We got to our room, we had it all to ourselves, and then we were wondering where the other two guys were. They just disappeared. Apparently, they got there, and within an hour, we're like, "Fuck this! I'm out of here." Not worth it. Like, wow. David and I were in a. I want to say we were in a similar. Yeah, we were in a pretty similar situation. Both of us in need of money and a place to stay. Because David, he looked a lot like super similar to my older brother, who I hadn't talked to in quite a bit at the time. And because of that, like we bonded, because we also had like we were both Spanish, had that brotherhood type thing, and like he opened up to me about like his family situation. I opened up to him about mine, and not only that, we were both pretty decent housekeepers. And I felt, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for the first housekeeper who was training me, because I was just so slow. And granted, like never done housekeeping before, like my first time, and then like getting into it that day, I was so slow, and I could just feel his aura of like, we gotta go. I want to get this done now. Because with housekeeping, the shift isn't done until you finish all those rooms, all of them, or well, all the ones that you're assigned to. Which I later learned that the amount of rooms you have to clean in a day varies with how many people are leaving that day, as well as if somebody requests their room to be like cleaned up a little bit. So some days were good, some days were overwhelming. My shifts averaged about like 9 hours each time, with like 2 15s and a half hour break for lunch. So it was pretty rough, especially with walking all the way down to where like the employee dining room was, as well as like kind of just walking around wherever else you wanted to spend your break. Normally outside to vape, but at the beginning of the season, It was cold as fuck up there. Because Crater Lake, if you're if you were uneducated about it, like I was, because I had never even heard of Crater Lake ever in my life. that It's on top of a mountain, especially especially Crater Lake Lodge. It's I think the elevation is like over 7,000 feet, 700. It's a tall mountain. It's a tall mountain, really tall. Voice crack. But it was rough at first because like it was really cold out there, like super cold. But then there were days where like I would wear my EV beanie for my shifts because we were allowed to wear hats. The first day I was like freezing most of the day. The second day I almost passed out from heat exhaustion. exhaustion. Probably from like the lack of eating because I didn't eat breakfast that day, as well as like forgetting to bring my water bottle with me. But it was a rough shift. It was really rough. Yeah, and I was pretty grateful that like after my shift was over, I ended up taking a nap, or I was about to, and I saw like these 3 or 4 people outside around like a fire pit start like they're gonna like start like a little fire, and I was like, David, wish me luck. I'm going in. My people need me. So I just felt like an odd like I need to be out there. So I went out there and I met 3 amazing people. There was Tristan, Victoria, and Shaggy, as well as another girl there named Serena. Another voice crack. And like just I was so surprised at like how welcoming it was, especially since like me being like as shy of a person as I am, and when I first show up somewhere, like I know no one. It was like it was as if I knew these people for at least a week already. And then as the night went on, more people got off their shift and like more people gathered around the fireplace. And I kid you not, that was like I was just in such pure bliss just from like the energy of everyone. I was like just like looking around, everyone by the fire, people laughing and joking, everyone having like their small condensed like separate conversations with each other. But all of it just felt amazing. It I could only describe it as like straight out of a movie scene. It was so cool. And there was music at one point too, which I did enjoy that. I was like, hell yeah. It fits the mood perfectly. And so I was like that just set like that just put me in a good mood for like the rest of the week. Despite how difficult housekeeping was getting, it was like, hell yeah. I can do this. I'm definitely here more for the people than the work, but I'm still gonna do the work to the best of my ability. And then day 6 of being there, David is like David finally breaks the news. Well, not finally. He only like just found out that like we have, or it was day 6, that we have like 2 days left to work there. Because what I did not know was that the agency that I got the job with, it was a temp agency, and that I was only going to be there for a week. They told me that I was going to be there for, well, they didn't entirely know how long I was going to be there for. Oh, oh, hi. um, so he had just found out that day that we were there for 2 days, or 2 more days. I texted the agency. They're like, you could be there for a few weeks, a few months. We don't know. And then only from the communication up there just spot on. That's when I asked the manager, like, hey, I just heard this. Is this true? And unfortunately, it was true. Yeah, I had 2 days left to work there. And I had no way to get home. No possible way to get home. Or like back to the shelter. I did not know what to do. So, in a panic, I opened up to some people about it. And they're like, hey, they're looking for another night auditor. And also make sure to email higher up about this. She'll help you out. She helped out one other guy out of homelessness, and like, look at him. He's thriving up here. I'm like, all right, give it a shot. That's a lot more calm than I was in the moment. But it was a really scary 2 days after that. The first day, the first 24 hours after, like, technically I was not employed there anymore, because they give you 24 hours to leave the park after that. The first 24 hours, I did not know what to do. I kind of just stayed in my room. I just remember I did not eat at all. I was just panicked. And then the second day, still waiting to hear back from the higher up about it, there was an organized bowling group, or a group to go bowling that day. And I had made friends with another woman there. I forgot her name already. But I had made friends with another woman there, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll come bowling. I'll pay for you." And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go bowling. And that's exactly, I needed to go. So I was panicked for way too long. And not only that, one of my other good friends there that I made in the first week there, at the time that week there, Joel, he went to that bowling too, or that he went bowling that night too. And he also helped me relax, because he was one of the very few people that I told that day that I was like, I've not eaten at all today or yesterday. I've just been so panicked about, like, what's going to happen to me. He had ordered onion rings, and he was like, hey, have some. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's like, if you don't have one, I'm feeding it to you. And out of my continued hesitancy, he took one, dipped in a ranch, and then, like, held it out. And that's when I'm like, I have the amazing opportunity to make this as awkward as possible. And Joel, the homie, he just rolled with it. So he held it out to me. I ate it just, like, right out of his hand. Just like you would with a couple, a partner. It happened about 3 times, 3 or 4 separate occasions. But that was another thing too, I forgot. The third day I was there, this was after a shift, because I was just really depressed. I was just in my head. I was sitting on the stone wall, looking right at Crater Lake, and just thinking. I specifically remember being like, God's universe, if you hear me, I'm really lonely. I don't care if I end up in a relationship, if it's a new friend that you introduce me to. I just need company right now. And lo and behold, this wonderful, esteemed gentleman named Aiden, he just, was all on his own, like walks right up to the edge, or to like the where the stone wall is, just kind of just thinking out loud, like, dude, this place is sick. Like, isn't this awesome? While like taking pictures of the lake. He's a pretty good photographer, in my opinion. He's kind of good at it. And I'm like, because I was just depressed. I didn't really feel like talking. I let him continue to talk. Then I looked over and he was talking at me. And I'm like, yeah, I suppose this place is pretty cool. And then he's like, dude, just think about it. Out of all the places in the world, of all the choices we made, we end up here. And like, look at that. Look at that lake. Like, isn't that just amazing? Isn't life so beautiful? And of course, at the time, in a depressed headspace, I'm like, yeah, life sure is beautiful, fantastic. But as we continue to like kind of just chill there, he was like, hey, when I go like when I like go out the rim, I'm like, huh? And also at the time too, I had met a femboy in a dating app, and we were going to play Fortnite together, which I later found out I couldn't do that anyway. And like just like talking to VC. And so I told him like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. But just so you know, I like to be back here before 6 because I have plans. And he's like, yeah, sure. Let's walk back to the rim, or let's walk back to the dorms. I'll change, and I'll force 2 people to come along with us. Like, yeah, sure. I'll meet you back here in 10 minutes. Excuse me. And he is a man of his word. That's exactly what he did. We met in the lobby of the dorms. I'm sorry, either hiccup or burp is continuing to fight its way out. But we met there, and it was like, yeah, so here's my car. I'll just like clean the stuff out. And I could immediately tell Aiden was like a special kind of person. And I mean that like the best way possible. Like, he just has such a welcoming vibe to him that he could literally just get along with anyone. Like, you talk to him for like, I want to say like even 2 minutes, and he'll have you like smiling. He's a good one. But like at the same time, like a little everywhere, and like that's what I love about him. He could effortlessly just like talk just about anything. And seeing his car and having to like move a gaming keyboard into the back seats or into the trunk, I'm like, Aiden, or like, at least like in my head, I'm like, this car fits this man. And in the future, Aiden, I'm sorry, no, I'm not saying this to make fun of you. It's more like, you are just so you. It's something I truly do behold and treasure and think about. But so I had met 3 or 2 other guys that night. One was Joel, who I talked about the onion ring thing, and Vlad. And I, of course, it took me a little bit to open up, but Joel was, I don't know if he was or still is, pretty into photography, because he had a good camera. I think it was a Nikon. And he was taking pictures all the way on that walk, because there was a section of the rim, because it was after a certain point where you could like drive there at night and get an amazing view of the stars. Well, like, we parked there, and after like a good 5 minutes of just kind of observing how like they treat each other, I'm like, this is my group. These are the boys. Because like we all respectfully Like we all just like respectfully just joked around with each other, just being goofy, just being guys. And that's something that I've been looking for basically all my life. Just a quiet, well, not as like quiet, but just a solid group of like different individuals that all bond together and all just like joke and laugh with each other. And you could tell in like the pictures that Joel took. Like there was one picture where he had to climb up a bit of a snowbank to set his camera up on a timer, where all of us were like looking out at a view. And Joel, Aiden, and Vlad, they all sat close together while I sat at a little bit of a distance. And then by the end of that walk, which was also pretty adventurous too, I was like I was sitting along with them. I was like kind of beautiful. But the beginning of that walk was just the beginning of how amazing it was. 'Cause after like 20 minutes of like stopping at different places to get like different views of the lake, we ended up meeting this guy. I forgot his name. My brain is saying Caleb, but I don't think it's it. I think it was Caleb. But he was a gemologist. Definitely, he was up at Crater Lake studying rocks. He was from Canada, and we ended up bumping into him at one of those lookout points. Got some pictures of him on his phone, of course, because he asked. And then like we ended up bumping into him at another point, and it was like, "Hey, want to walk with us?" We had known this guy for a grand total of like 20 or 10 minutes, and then like he became basically like a part of our group too. So like, he was such like a really cool down to earth guy. And I think it was even funnier when at some point like his wife was calling him, or his girlfriend at the time. No, I think it was his wife. And like we all ended up saying hi to his wife, like, "Hello, your husband's awesome." But the one thing I really treasure about that whole trip was the fact that, because like we were walking for a solid 4 hours, I missed that date that day. And even the boys were like, "Guys, dab this guy up. He sacrificed a femboy to hang out with us." And Aiden, he apologized a few times. I'm like, "Dude, don't worry, it's all right. Do not worry about it." But the most beautiful part about that whole trip with them was the fact that all of us at separate moments were like walking alone with each other and having like some sort of bonding moment, just like in an anime. As every anime, you always have that one episode where the main character bonds with one of the other characters. Like they have a moment together where you get to see a lot more of what's going on with that other character. And that's what happened separately between all of us, just naturally. And I think the funniest thing, the first thing that Vlad and I were that we bonded on, because we both were like more reserved as opposed to Joel, who was a little less reserved, and Aiden, who was the most extroverted of all of us. The first thing Vlad and I like bonded on were cigarettes. Especially, I think he also is a fan of Camel Crush. Because I just couldn't stop talking about it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, you get it, you understand. And then like naturally, just conversation picked up after that. I think even one of the funnier parts of that whole thing too was it was pretty dark as we got back to Aiden's car, and he's like, "Hey guys, you want to like come with me to the gas station? It's like 45 minutes away." We're like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I don't mind." What Aiden did not tell us was that he wasn't going to the one 45 minutes away. He went to the one that was an hour and 15 minutes away. He kidnapped 3 people successfully without us knowing it. But that night, that whole drive was also pretty fun too. Because not only on the way back from the gas station did I finally get a Four Loco like I've been dying to have for like ever since um, being in the homeless shelter in the first place. Still a fan of Four Locos. On the way there, we played like Aiden had like a little speaker in his car, and he played off of his Spotify just a bunch of like early 2000s to late 2010s pop songs, and we all were singing along to it. I'm like, this is straight out of a movie too. Oh my, all my dreams are coming true. It's like looking back on all these memories, it's as if like it really did seem like it came straight out of a movie. It really did. And like even hanging out in like the common room playing pool together, like seeing Vlad be his goofy self while wiping the floor with all of us with pool. Which at the beginning I was pretty good and like level with all of them, and then Vlad just kept playing and playing, and suddenly I just could not keep up. But then there was one another guy there. His name was Eldar, a nice guy from Kyrgyzstan. I'm not entirely sure which genre of Asian he is, but he had a really thick Asian accent. But he had an amazing sense of humor too. I think one of the first things that he said to me was while I was playing pool, either against him or Vlad or Joel, because I was doing well and like not showing off, kind of just smiling. He was like, "You're like an anime character." Silent but strong. I'm like, thank you. Never been called that before. I'm flattered. My mouth was not ready for that. Very dry. Very dry, Jerry. Very dry. I apologize for that loud audible gulp. So yeah, Eldar, he became like a part of our little group too. And he was a great addition. But then I at some point became friends with a lovely, esteemed friend, Victoria. And Victoria helped me out with this, my septum piercing, which I still have the first one, but towards the end of the season, one of the balls on one of the sides just fell out, and I couldn't find it because that thing had fallen out so often. Excuse me. That the last time I had that side of that septum piercing, it was lost on the floor of the EDR. Oh gosh, excuse me. And that was a dirty floor, and I for sure was not going to find it, considering like how small it was, and screwing it onto was also just impossible. So towards the end of Crater Lake, or towards the end of the season, after getting a car, I drove all the way to Medford Mall to get like a set of 3 septum piercings, and this one, it doesn't need anything on the ends of it. Kind of just fits, like slides in. And at first, I wasn't a fan of it until I was like, this is kind of in the shape of like the Taurus constellation, and me being a Taurus, I'm like, you know what, this fits. I'm keeping it. I'm making this style my own, even though you can't really see it. It's mine. It's there. Trust me, it's there. It's always there. But yeah, Victoria also became like a solid friend. And like we confided in each other. She was able to give me 2 tattoos, which I might as well show that off too, considering this is catching up from where I've been. And I did not entirely know I was going to be streaming tonight. So the shirt I'm wearing is very fitting. Crater Lake, don't tell them I stole this. I don't know the verb. Well, it actually doesn't matter. they Crater Lake and that whole company, like they make enough money to like make the or buy these shirts anyway. But because I am a huge fan of Genshin Impact, mainly the story instead of the gameplay, there is one character I super connected with, and that's Kale. Because in the manga, I was rooting for her. Because like the manga shows what the first city, Mondstadt, was like before the Traveler showed up and before like Peril and where the Traveler story begins. Kale showed up to Mondstadt after being rejected by the other kingdoms that didn't want to touch her because she was sick. But the patrol person, Amber, was like, she stood up for Kale. I was like, we can help her. There's got to be someone here that can help her. So I'm not sending her away. And I don't think they necessarily found much of a treatment for her, or they did. But she did end up getting like bullied out of Mondstadt by one of the other people who, I think it was Kana, how do you pronounce his name? Ice Pirate is what I called him. He's got an eye patch, and his element is ice. Is it? Cryo. Yeah, because it's cryo hydro. Anyway. So when the Dendro are not Archon, but when the Dendro element was finally introduced into Genshin, a free character was Kale. She was released with that update, and I was like so ecstatic because of like I was rooting for this character. I was rooting for her. I felt so bad that she ended up getting basically like bullied out of one of the few places that could help her. So the fact that like it shows her all grown up and basically healed, basically, I was like, I like you. you got chutzpah, you got gumption. And so one of the tattoos I requested was this bad boy. That's the Dendro Archon, the logo for the Dendro, the element of Dendro, which for my channel that is not existent anymore. still kind of working on it. I'll keep this order off. Shit. I forgot what I was going to say. Hello. I'm streaming.
Are you?
Yes. Would you like to join me?
How many people are watching?
One.
Do you know who the one person is?
Yeah, a good buddy that I met before the podcast was a thing.
So it's basically like a FaceTime call.
At this point, yes. But I will be uploading and editing the VOD because I don't want to include vaping in the end thing. So is that a yes?
Give me 1 second.
All right. Hell yeah. Friend joining that I talked about earlier. Anyway, I got a clear space. Hello. Big shark. Alright. Now I can move this over when he is ready. So there is that one. And my other one that I got with Victoria, she waited, unfortunately, to get hers or to do hers because she did the tattoos for all of us. Hello. Would you like to have a seat?
Give me a second. I gotta like do some stuff real quick.
All right. I don't know how long this is going to go for.
Okay.
Probably maybe like another hour. So, Victoria was supposed to get this tattoo with us on that day. But it was me, another friend of mine named Brandon, Joel, and Victoria are the only four that got these tattoos. It is on my ankle. Oh, that is not a nice feeling. I'm going to keep it that way. It says, "Fuck it, we ball." What ball is in, of course, crying. BAWL. Fuck it, we ball. And it's only me and Joel who got it on our ankle. Brandon decided to get it on his wrist. I don't remember where Victoria put hers. Maybe on the ankle too. But that was because all four of us went on a camping trip together. Like during the season. It was really impromptu, which was even better. Well, maybe not entirely impromptu, but it was, yeah. Either way, we had a nice time. Especially around the campfire, all of us getting drunk and taking straight up shots of Tito's. And like passing a blunt in between the four of us. It was a really nice time, especially being as high as I was and just looking up at the stars. As well as Brandon getting very drunk and jamming along with two of us to with me and Joel to some Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang's a good group. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was I still have yet to upload because I think I recorded 2 sets from when I DJ'd at Crater Lake. Only 2 of them. I meant to record more. I just completely forgot. At most, it would have been 3. So there was one set where I'm like, I'm going to record this one. And then I got high as well. And I got drunk and a little bit high. And just completely forgot to press record. But I do have...
Oh. That's me with these fucking iPad drawings, like multiple times. I've done the entire fucking stencil, and then I look and I didn't put the second layer on. So I'm just like, I can't even fill this in. Like,
damn.
So I just literally set it down. Like, I'm not doing this for another week.
I don't blame you. But gosh, what was I talking about before? Oh yeah, the DJing. I do have video evidence that I have yet to post on Instagram of me DJing in the main outfit. Because in the
DJing,
I still, I do have my other decks with me. Because I had bought another deck because the first one was like a little bit broken, but I can still technically use it. I just have to relearn how to DJ.
What are those called? Like spin tables?
Jog wheels. Jog wheels. Like my pants, but wheels. Because I'm wearing joggers. Anyway. Yeah, I keep forgetting to post that shit. Because there were a few moments where like... No, that was another set. Because I posted a few pictures as well as like the a small vid of the first set that I did there. Where Eldar, who I talked about earlier, that I met a guy named Eldar from Kyrgyzstan. Well, at Crater Lake. Oh yeah, it took me a while to remember how to say his name.
His last name's Scrolls.
I wish I'd said that to him. Fuck. But anyway, he was really curious about like DJing, so I was, well, as well as Joel, who was sitting right next to me for like basically the entire set. He was like my support animal. Emotional support animal, I mean.
I've been thinking about it. I already told you about that.
Oh, yeah.
I wish, like, I would prefer a dog, but it's kind of small in here. But I could take them for walks all the time, but then they're in a yard. So it's like if they have to go to the bathroom, I basically have to, like, go, like, across the street, which I don't know if that's even legal.
I mean, I feel like it's fine as long as you clean up after it.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. It would just be like a mountain over by the church. Like, where's this coming from?
Our grass looks great over here. But you're gonna love them, especially in terms of like flow of conversation. Just saying. It's hard to, because I have a lot of times where I'm like, what was I talking about? Where is this going? But yeah, DJing up there was like, it was pretty cool. So I wasn't expecting a big crowd of people dancing around me. I was kind of just there for the vibe. And there was one night where I DJ'd for like 6 hours, where after I was through with my EDM shit and like actually tired, as well as like talking to someone who was definitely interested in me, and I feel really bad that it was not mutual. That like at some point I just kind of just put on. No, I didn't have VCL or VLC studio or VLC media. There we go. I don't need to look at it. I didn't have VLC media at the time, so I kind of just went through my chill rap playlist. Or not playlist, but like my folder. I found some mixes and kind of just chilled out. But leading up to that, I did actually DJ some like more just relaxed rap. But yeah. I did hear, however, on the night that I DJ'd in the main outfit, there was one guy there that, according to Victoria, he walked in and was like, "What's that?" pointing at me in the main outfit. And Victoria, as well as another homie named Serge, they were like, "That's Sky. He's doing his thing. Fuck off." Honestly, like, I was one of very few gay people representing up there. Granted, apparently, according to others, there was more gay people up there, just not really too much in the rim dorm where I was at the top of the mountain, where the internet was terrible for most of the season, except for like the last 2 months. But the last thing I could think to talk about in terms of Crater Lake is becoming a night auditor, because that was very different. I'd never done night auditor work in my life. I didn't know what was going to happen. But suddenly, my affinity to stay up really late was paying off. Shit. So the basics of it, you're basically night watch, front desk, and accounting all in one. Where I would stay around the front desk, which don't tell anyone, but I was not always at the front desk 24/7 like I should have been. As great as 6% is, I don't know what it is about disposable vapes that just are much stronger. They really get you. It's unfortunate, because there's so much potential with refillables like that. But anyway, so I was basically at that front desk from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. making sure that like nobody's really causing a disturbance, as well as if there's an emergency, I'm there to help out. If a guest needs something, I'm there to help out. If somebody's checking in super late, if somebody's checking out super early, that's what I'm there to do. As well as make sure that the front desk is ready with the sign in and sign out sheets every day, making sure that they know who's checking out, and all that fun stuff. But the moments I really cherished were the moments where there was nothing to do for like a solid 4 hours at a time, where no one was awake. It was just me. Like it was just me doing my own thing. Which, before I get to that, I completely forgot, because now that it for sure works. Minecraft. Uh-oh. It's fine. But the other things I've been kind of up to lately is the small Ground Wars community that I'm a part of on a daily basis has a little realm, and you're going to see my friends really soon. Probably say hi. And this realm was a struggle. I'm just going to make sure that you can still see me. Yeah, okay, perfect. But it was a bitch and a half to get this like already. Not all this is me, because I have a lovely assistant. But this was me. Where my home is. It's in the Pale Garden biome, which, for the love of God, this took me a solid 4 to 5 hours to find. And as you can see, like, up here... Oh, wait, that might be behind the camera. Is it behind the camera? It's behind the camera. Alright, never mind. I walked until I was at, like, 19,000 blocks away from spawn. And that was hours and hours of walking before the world was set to hard mode. But I collected these as I was walking by, because I was like, you know what? I could, or walking to here, it would probably make like a nice little decoration for the entrance. But yeah, this place is very, very dangerous. Did it? Okay, to close. So I dug all this out because I prefer to live in caves, in holes. If anything, if I ever make a show, it's gonna be Pimp My Hole. Look at this shit. Look at that shit. I cut up all these trees. I shaved all these leaves. And also on the way to here, I found these. This is an alley, which you can only find at like pillager outposts. So it's like it's kind of a rare thing. And I found 2 of them at once. So this is Austin. That's Alley. If you remember the Disney show Austin and Alley. And this is my dog, who I haven't named. But yeah, this took me 4 fucking ever to do. And I also thought that grass would have grown on top of this, which is, it's fine. And this is the stuff that my friend, my number 1 fan, has. I asked her if she wanted to move in, and I told her the dangers of it, because the world is set to hard, and I did not know if she was going to want to make it. But she did. And she got this little, oh, I didn't know she made that. Hell yeah. The alleys will dance if you play music in it, and I have a music disc for that. But she helped out with this. Well, not helped out, she did all of this. The books, the enchantment table, the amethyst. I haven't looked in that chest yet. But she also made a bunch of food, which I contributed 3 to, and the food is gone. Little campfires. She put that there. I put that there. And I made sure this hole was like literally seconds before it was turned to hard mode. I made sure like all of this was safe to walk around. But oh yeah, she put the wood here. It looks really nice. The stairs. She helped me out with making the sugarcane farm. I made the trash disposal. The infinite water is right here, which I needed to use for over here. She helped me dig all of this out. But I'm so happy she kept up with the pumpkins and like the looks like the wheat and the potatoes. It makes me sad that the potatoes they only give you like two. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, that's honestly this is about all I've done for a little while. Oh, she also made another portal too. I'm proud of her. I really am. Helped out with this. I didn't even know. She's a homie. She's a real one. I didn't know that she went to those such great lengths. Oh my gosh. And I don't think there's anything else over here. This was the last bit of me making sure that this place was actually safe. Yep. Nothing else here. But yeah, I'm honestly like I'm proud of my part of what I did here. Granted, we call her Zebra. Zebra did help out with like digging out the farm, which I was either way too tired or depressed to help out at times. But we did like a lot of the farm work over there. This she did by herself. This is amazing. Oh, there's so many cows. Definitely a great source of food and pets. Because I'm not gonna say anything else. Yeah, this originally was all dirt, or well, it was cobblestone, and parts of it were dirt, so I can go out and chop down trees. I'm a huge tree enthusiast. So like if I cut down any tree, I make sure that all those saplings are planted and or gathered and planted. I make my damnedest sure to do that. Not so much in this biome, considering how often I fucking die here for not really any good reason. But yeah, that's what I've been up to here. Anyway, but yeah, Night Auditor. So one thing that's kind of known about Crater Lake is how haunted it is, especially around the lodge. Considering how old the building is overall, the people that died there before that. Because like there was a ghost in room 236, and I met her. Wasn't entirely nice to me, but that's also was my own doing. And there was another one that stood under the archway, like right by the front desk, and I saw it once. It's like a man in like a top hat, kind of standing under the archway. It looks more like a at least to me, it looks more like a shadow. Like a shadow, like exactly like a shadow, just silhouette of that. And another front desk worker named Brooke, she saw it too, and I did the same exact thing that she did. Saw it out of the corner of her eye, and like she didn't move, and still saw it. And then when she looked over, it was gone. So I did like a similar thing. I'm like, huh, you really are there. Hello. But I've learned not to disturb the dead because I have many questions. I'm like that like annoying kid that like at a family reunion that you don't really want to have there, or to just you don't want them to be around. You just don't want to be bothered. They're just annoying. But there was that. And I think my favorite moment was one night I was just super stressed out. I don't remember what it was about, but I was kind of just venting out loud and pacing. And there's a main room where guests can like hang out around a campfire, around a fireplace, gaslit. And there's also like the dining room is like the doors to the dining room are in that room, right next to the bar. And so this one night I was just like I was bugging out. And both the doors, because they were double doors, they just opened to the dining room. So I'm like, okay, there's something here. And after I sat down, after a little bit, I'm like, would you mind like closing one of those doors? Because I guess when they come down in the morning, they see the doors open, they just think it's open, and I don't want that to happen. And as I continued to kind of just think out loud, only one of the doors closed. I'm like, I'll take it. Thank you. But in terms of like some of the good memories there too, one of those memories that I hold like really, really close to my heart, or many of them, were just the nights where, of course, there was nothing to do for hours, and I would just go outside and look at the stars. From time to time, there would be a guest that would wake up and go outside, look at the stars too from the balcony. But like it was just something to behold. It's so beautiful, and like the pictures that I have of the night sky from there, it does not compare. It really doesn't. Of course, the iPhone is not built to do that, but I just remember looking at those stars and being like, I belong up there. I don't feel like I belong here. I want to be in the stars. I want to reside up there, like live up there. I don't mean like as an astronaut, but just like an astral being. Like I just want to be up there. It's just like so beautiful. It's so cool. I spent many nights kind of just looking out there and just thinking. It was so peaceful. But there was one night specifically, because I was up there for 3 wildfires, and the first wildfire I was pretty panicked about, because like I've never lived around a wildfire before, especially like that close. And thankfully, there was no need to like shut the park down or anything. But I just remember there was one specific night during a wildfire. It was really windy out there. But I stayed out there anyway because like I went out there pretty frequently to vape, which I'm not supposed to do, but no one was there to sit. No one was really there to stop me, unless it was a guest. Then like I couldn't do that. But some nights I was depressed and I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm the manager, right? I'm the manager for now. But yeah, that specific night, it was super, super windy. It was like really warm. But I just stood out there. As calm as ever. I was calm. So I was like, this is me. I'm standing in the storm right now. And it can try to knock me over those winds, but it doesn't. And it won't. I felt really empowered. And like, through all the shit I've been through, this is me. This is what I continue to do. Like, hell, fuck yeah. I'm saying hell yeah to my own thing. But, yeah. The last big thing was, aside from getting a car, which more or less was a good idea. I met someone up there because long distance I should say, because I had gotten my ex a job up there, and after like a really traumatic thing happening up there, he left, blocked me on everything, as in like definitely done. So after about 2 weeks of like just, because like I grieved, I screamed. There was one specific spot way up a hill, somewhat nearby the dorms. It was probably like a 10-minute walk to get up there, where I was super angry. I let it all out. And after about a week of being apathetic, just going through the motions day in day out, I decided to you know what, I'm gonna start making friends, especially online friends that I could just reach out to, just talk to anytime. So I joined a femboy server. Then I joined the adult version of that femboy server because of course they separate the adults from the minors. And the third day I was in that server, I meet someone. We're both in the chat, kind of just talking. We're both having our separate conversations, and he makes the first move by saying hi. I'm like, yo, and he responds, yo, and I would respond even longer, yo. Then it's like, want a DM? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I remember that morning, I was just like, it was like that the sky I was an hour ago just was non-existent. I was just so happy and giggly. For the next 3 weeks, I did not know that we were going to be all over each other every day, talking on a daily basis for hours at a time. And considering my sleep schedule, it was nearly perfect for him, considering the time difference between us. But yeah, we had some nice voice calls, really nice talks, and he would always say that well, not I guess he would tell me that once I get started on something, especially about music, I was just I was a podcast where it's I just talk just on and on. I do not stop. That's the point of this podcast. If I don't really have many people to just do that to, where I could just talk uninterrupted, I have this outlet. And especially for those that way down the future, looking back at at this, whoever stumbles upon it, I'm happy you found it. I'm happy you found me. And that I can entertain or comfort if I can. Yeah, it's been one hell of a year. It really has. Because this time last year, I was in my friend's apartment, just day in, day out, looking for jobs, and then distracting myself with Minecraft, and just stewing in stewing in the feeling of failure. But here I am now, with a lot better of an attitude and a lot more hope. Because I'm more ready than anything to really stand up on my own 2 feet. It's kind of exciting. And it reminds me of something that Master Oogway said that I continue to reference. Yesterday was history, or yesterday is history, and tomorrow is a mystery. That is why today is called the present, because it is a gift. That's true. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yesterday already happened. Enjoy today. If you don't know what's going to happen today, stick around to find out. I don't know how much of that straw dripping off of my chin. Anyway. Yeah. This boy is a good one. Ow, I forgot. So, at Crater Lake, when it suddenly dawned on me that throughout my life, especially after the cult, throughout my life after the cult, I just have the affinity to make really good friends with autistic people. Excuse me. Specifically, yeah, like specifically people of autism, just confirmed, diagnosed. And so that got me thinking, like, out of the people that I really connect with the most, like a good DJ friend of mine, another friend who I met in a little DJ/friend group. I know there's a third in there somewhere. I just can't think of it. But yeah, then there was my other friend who I met at Crater Lake. It's like, oh, and then the other friend who I was living with exactly a year ago. They're all autistic, and it's like it's confirmed and diagnosed. So like it made me wonder, like, do I have autism? Do I? Is that a sign? And in terms of like pattern recognition, 3 of them have been like, yeah, you probably are. And I didn't entirely see it, but I did at the same time, It was like, while at Crater Lake, I would more often not only catch myself, but remember all the times that I would just walk on my toes, just out of habit, not really for like reason. The only possibility for that is all the times as a kid I would sneak around the house at night, mainly to like just like go down to the living room, turn on the PS4 to watch YouTube while my parents were asleep and didn't know that I was doing that. And so I just figured like that habit came from like all the years that I did that. Then I just like kept doing it without much reason for it. I'm like, I don't know if that's habit or if that's a sign. And then at Crater Lake, when like after meeting Zeke, just like talking about it, and like the other thing too that like is another sign is like sleeping at night, or when I go to sleep, I tuck in my hands because it's just like that's comfortable. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like I just gotta tuck in my hands. Something about it, it's like it feels right. There is that, and like mainly when like no one else is around, so I'm still kind of picky and decisive of like who I stim like that around. When there's like intense emotion, could be stress, could be happiness, could just be like I just need to get it out, like that. It feels right. Is all I'm saying. So like I don't know when I'm going to be able to get like an official diagnosis, but there seems to be like a lot of signs of it. And like as a kid, I was just really serious all the time, or most of the time. Even though I had a sense of humor back then, I was goofy. My parents figured it was more my depression that made me that way, as well as the environment. Which, if you know my past, and growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, and especially the son of an elder, it would just make sense that I would want to be a little more reserved and like just quiet or just shy. Like honestly, I don't know. So there were signs of like autism. It also could be neurodivergence, or it could just be overlapping things from depression or whatever else is going on in there. I don't know. I don't know. I ran out of topics. So I talked about Crater Lake, talked about where I was before that, a little bit about the a few experiences from the homeless shelter. But like, the good ones. I forget. Oh my gosh, Robert. I forget about him all the time. It was like Robert. He was an old man, really old. But all right, well, he was sporting grays, but he wasn't full gray, and he had terrible, terrible hearing. But he was a rebel. That Robert. He did what he wanted.
He didn't even know which bag was his.
That
fucking baggage room. We're all just like watching him and just like digging through our shit.
Yeah, that too. He was not only could he not hear, he was also like kind of pretty senile. I specifically remember like I think his social security came in and he told the staff that he was going to get batteries for his hearing aids and he spent it on something else. They were pretty upset about that. But that man, his farts were thunderous. And me and my homie Brian, we were lucky enough to have our bunk beds like right next to each other, both on the bottom bunk. So there was one time he just, oh gosh, he would also snore really loud too, and that sucked. But like besides that, there was just one time where he farted. It was so loud. I think both of us probably heard the walls shake just because of the sheer volume of just how loud that fart was. But Robert, he also was like, because of how forgetful he was, it was pretty tough to, like each morning they would unlock the room where our bags were. And that's where I had my clothing, my backpacks, and like my valuable stuff in there, as well as other people who had valuable stuff, especially clothing. And we always just like kept our eye on him every time he needed to go in there. Which one thing they would do is they would unlock it and have it stay unlocked for probably like a half hour in the morning and a half hour before everyone needs to go to sleep. Just like, just in case you needed to get something from in there. And you could always also ask a staff for like the key to if you need to get something in there. I was really annoying to the staff the first week I was in there. Because I had a jacket and I didn't feel like carrying it around with me everywhere. So I'm like, can I go get my jacket? Do you mind if I put it back in there? I'm sorry, can I go get it again? Poor Daniel. That patient man. Yeah. Other than Robert, like, not too much I can think of right now to continue to talk about. And I've talked for probably a grand total of 1 hour and 40, so gonna end the stream. Fuck, I forgot to record it, even though I can get the VOD, but like, I gotta already do that next time. Well, thank you for joining me on this New Year's Eve. My good friend. Hopefully I'll have more to talk about next time. I intend on doing this on a weekly basis to try to get the podcast up and running again. A little something on the side. And yeah. And maybe on the off chance too, I'll probably do Minecraft streams as well. As soon as I learn how to turn the chat off. Because I do want to like not only grow like the podcast part of this YouTube channel and Twitch channel, but also like do a little gaming too, since I enjoy doing it. I might as well share what I can do. And yeah. Have a blast, have a ball, have a motherfucking great time. Anyway, so thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. I hope to have more to report after that soon.